The Golden State Warriors are getting ready to make some shocking changes. As you all know, the Warriors have a lot of players that are being released this season, with Jordan Poole, Draymond Green, and also Jonathan Kuminga being in that limelight. But we're going to be going through 5 drastic changes that the Golden State Warriors are potentially making right now that will help them win another NBA championship next season. So make sure to like this video, and guys, 92% of you are still not subscribed to the channel, so it'd mean the world. You can subscribe to the channel, hit that red button down below. First potential move is to let go of Draymond Green, as he has declined his contract extension. As you all know, Draymond Green declined his player option to test out free agency, and because this is the case, we could actually have Golden State Warriors sign 2 great big men in order to replace Draymond Green for the salary cap that he has been offered. As you all know, Draymond Green actually has a salary of $27 million next season if he actually accepted it, so they have $27 million in order to play with, and for that price, Golden State Warriors can actually get 2 great big men in Kyle Kuzma and also Dwight Powell for the price of $27 million. So I think this would honestly be fantastic. First, starting off with Kyle Kuzma. Kuzma has been a great player for the Washington Wizards, and he actually has opted out of his contract and is also willing to get traded depending on what is the situation. But when it comes to Kuzma, he averaged 21.2 points, 7.2 rebounds, and also 3.7 assists. I think he's a fantastic player, and I think he will fit with the Golden State Warriors due to the fact that the Warriors need a scoring big man. Kuzma's 6'9", 221 pounds. He moves like a guard, but definitely can play big, and I think that's honestly fantastic and something that the Warriors need. The Warriors definitely do lack a lot of height, especially when it came to the series against the Los Angeles Lakers, which is one of the reasons why I think they ended up losing, was due to the fact that they didn't have enough size in order to control Anthony Davis. Now adding Kyle Kuzma, who's 6'9", can play that big man role, I think he will do a fantastic job, and on top of that, he is a great three-point shooter as well, which fits the Warriors system. As you all know, Kuzma actually averaged this season 33% from the 3, which I think is fantastic, and it can definitely have paid dividends if they decide to get him instead. On top of Kuzma, the Golden State Warriors can also sign Dwight Powell due to the fact that Dwight Powell's salary is only around $13 million to around $10 million as well. Now, when it comes to Dwight Powell, he did do a fantastic job for the Dallas Mavericks, where he actually averaged 6.7 points, 4.1 rebounds, and 0.9 assists. So one of the reasons why I actually really do like Dwight Powell is I think he will be a great inside big man, especially coming off the bench. If we look at the Warriors roster so far, there isn't a lot of big men in that Warriors roster due to the fact that they have JaMychal Green, who comes off the bench, but there is only kind of running that small ball lineup. So because of that, I definitely do think that the Warriors could use a backup big man on top of JaMychal Green, and Dwight Powell can definitely be that guy. Dwight Powell, as you all know, stands at 6'10", 240 pounds, still a very young player at 31 years of age, but definitely has the right amount of experience and the right amount of experience to win an NBA championship. So I think these two would be fantastic together in order to replace someone like Draymond Green. We get the scoring from Kyle Kuzma, and we get the defense and inside presence in Dwight Powell, which I think is a win-win situation, getting 2 players for 1. The second is the Golden State Warriors can free up enough cap space in order to sign another NBA superstar. Now, as you all know, Jordan Poole is on the trading block, and also is Jonathan Kuminga, and now that Draymond Green is actually opting out of his contract, if they decide to trade all of them in order to free up cap space, Golden State Warriors would have $65 million to work with to sign another NBA superstar. That is definitely enough to sign some of the best players and to get a great superstar to join Steph Curry in order to win another ring. A player that has been very adamant about actually being in that discussion is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, as you all know, Giannis actually averaged this season 31.1 points, 11.8 rebounds, and 5.7 assists. Giannis has also said in multiple interviews who he would love to play with one day, and that was Steph Curry. And we have seen during their all-star team-ups that they are a fantastic duo, and this would be honestly a great duo to watch. I think Giannis can really provide a lot for the Warriors team. 7 foot, 242 pounds, still a very young player at 28 years old, and due to the fact that they didn't go so well during this season in the postseason, I definitely do think it is on Giannis's mind that he could honestly join a team like this, since other teams such as Phoenix Suns are starting to create more and more supers teams. I think Giannis would fit also with the Warriors system, and it is definitely something that the Warriors are going to be missing if they decide to trade Poole, Green, and also Kuminga. They definitely need a big man that can provide that defense and that size and also have a scoring ability, and Giannis can definitely be that guy. Giannis being 7 foot would add a lot of size to this lineup, and if you had Giannis and Kevon Looney running that power forward and center position, I think it would honestly be a recipe for success. I think what everyone would also be excited about to see is definitely that Giannis Antetokounmpo and Stephen Curry pick and roll. I think that would probably be one of the best duos or one of the best pick and rolls we have ever seen ever since Shaq and Kobe, and I do believe Giannis can definitely provide a lot of things to this Warriors roster. If you add Giannis to Warriors, I definitely already can confirm that that is a championship team in the making, and there is no doubt about it that they can definitely win a lot of rings together due to the fact that Curry has a couple of years left in his peak years. So it's definitely now the time for the Warriors to make that move and to try to pursue someone like an NBA superstar that can team up with Steph Curry and finally get more rings together. The third is that the Warriors are close to signing a deal with the Indiana Pacers in order to trade Jonathan Kuminga for Miles Turner. Now, I think this may come to a surprise, but it has been actually rumored that Indiana have been in contacts with the Warriors in order to trade for Jonathan Kuminga, and Miles Turner supposedly is on the table. Now, as you all know, Miles Turner stands at 6'11", 250 pounds, and is only age 27, and I think he would honestly be a fantastic fit for what the Golden State Warriors definitely need. He averaged 18 points this season, also 7.5 rebounds and 1.4 assists, and on top of that, he has a great 3-point percentage shooting of 37%. Yes, guys, you heard that right. 37%. That is honestly insane, especially for a big man of his height, and he also had an effective field goal percentage of 62%. So I honestly think Miles Turner would be a perfect fit for what the Warriors are trying to do. Miles Turner is definitely a scoring big man, and I think that's something that the Warriors definitely lack, especially right now. And if we also look on how they lost against the Lakers during the playoffs. So I think Miles Turner can definitely provide a lot. What I love most about this is that he's actually a big man in a sense that he is 6'11", so he does provide that height. Obviously, Draymond Green was only 6'6", and it was really tough for him, even though he did a really good job against Anthony Davis, for him to actually get rebounds due to the fact that there is just a huge height difference. So having someone like Miles Turner in the paint along with someone like Kevon Looney would honestly be the next Twin Towers. So I think that would be great there. On top of that, I think Miles Turner's 3-point shooting definitely does help. If we see a lot of the pick and rolls that happen right now, there isn't a lot of pick and pop action that happens due to the fact that Draymond Green can't really shoot the 3-ball that consistently, and also Kevon Looney isn't really a 3-point shooter as well. But now that Miles Turner is in the mix, if this trade actually does go through, then I think it would open up a lot of space for Stephen Curry, especially off that pick and roll. If he comes on it hard and they double, they could look to run a pick and pop, and Miles Turner is open for the 3-ball, or Steph Curry, they actually keep a player on him, one player only, and then he ends up isoing them and taking him to the ring. So there's a lot of ways to go about it, but I think Steph Curry definitely could use a pick and roll player or teammate that he can actually run a pick and pop and also a pick and roll with, which Miles Turner definitely fits into that bill. If we look at his rebounding ability as well, I think it is great to see that he is rebounding at such a high level. This is actually the highest he has ever rebounded ever in his career at 7.5 rebounds last season for Indiana. So he's done a fantastic job there. If we also look at his blocks, he's a great shot blocking, great defensive anchor in the paint, and he can definitely provide a lot in all ways to none. The fourth is that the Warriors are looking to trade up in the draft. Now, I think this is a super important one because I do believe that this draft class has a lot of great players and a lot of players that the Golden State Warriors can definitely benefit from. Now, when it comes to how high they are probably going to go, it has been looking like they are looking to trade between 7 to 9 in order to get a player named Jarace Walker. Now, I think Jarace Walker is a great player due to the fact that he is a forward, so he does fit that need that the Warriors definitely need. He stands at 6'8", 240 pounds. Now, he has been compared to Tim Thomas when it comes to his draft reports. Now, he did average also 11.2 points, 6.8 rebounds, and 1.8 assists. I think he is a great player, and he also did play for Houston, which is a great college as well. And I do think he would fit the system really, really good. Now, when it comes to what Jarace Walker can really provide, I definitely think his athleticism is going to play a huge factor, and it's something that this Warriors team definitely needs. They definitely need someone that can be that two-way guy, and he is definitely one of those players. He definitely is built for athleticism when it comes to his size, strength, and also his quickness, and I do think his defensive ability definitely does shine, and it does show why the Warriors want him so badly. On top of this, they can also probably even trade higher, maybe add someone like Jordan Poole in the mix, and they could go all the way for Scoot Henderson. Now, as you all know, Scoot Henderson is a great, fantastic player, and he is currently third in the draft. However, I do believe that he could fit also what the Warriors are doing. He probably would be coming off the bench since he is a guard, but I think Scoot Henderson is definitely a generational talent. He averaged 16.5 points, 5.4 rebounds, and 6.5 assists. He's an athletic freak, especially at his height of 6'2", 195 pounds, and I think he's just a great guard to have in this roster. The fifth is that the Warriors are finding a replacement for Donte DiVincenzo. Now, it has been rumored as of recently that Donte DiVincenzo isn't actually going to accept his player option, and in that fact, it may look like the Golden State Warriors may need to find a replacement for Donte DiVincenzo. Now, DiVincenzo didn't have such a big contract at only $4 million a year. However, I do believe there are a lot of great players that the Golden State Warriors can get for that price range. One of my favorites, especially due to the fact that I absolutely love him as a player and always wanted him in a Warriors uniform, they can actually get Cameron Johnson for that salary price. Now, when it comes to Cameron Johnson, he does make around $4.7 million a year, and because of that, I think he would be a perfect fit due to the fact that he can play that power forward position. 6'8", 210 pounds. He averaged 15.5 points and 4.4 rebounds with also 1.9 assists. So he did a fantastic job for the Brooklyn Nets and also did a great job for the Phoenix Suns. And I think what makes him special is due to the fact that he had a 37% three-point percentage and also had an effective field goal percentage of 57%. So he could honestly be a perfect fit for what the Warriors are doing. What I love most about Cameron Johnson, he isn't afraid of coming off the bench, being a starter. He isn't one of those players that demands certain things. And I think that is definitely what this Warriors team needs. They definitely need players that all they need to do is, in order to win, is to do their role. And I think Cameron Johnson is one of those guys that will definitely do that. Now, when it comes to Cameron Johnson as well, I think he would just be a perfect fit all around.